21 Excel tips for accountants, especially the beginning ones. Freeze panes. You see, I don't know, like what document am I still looking at? Let's say I want to freeze pane, so this is very helpful. Freeze panes, so it will freeze it, and then unfreeze to unfreeze. So I'd probably freeze it here to know what this number is. So number, date, days. Super convenient. Control and mouse. I like this to zoom around because sometimes it's a big thing. You want to manipulate the data. So control plus, probably not so good. So I use that with the mouse wheel holding control. Double click for formulas. We've sort of been doing that the whole way along, but I want to know where stuff comes from. There's no formula here, but if there's a number, this plus this times that, what constitutes it? What are they? Double click on it and you can see. Bonuses, highlighting for sum. So if I do Alt equals here, and then I'm just going to drag and fill, and if you want to get involved in the formula bar, you can click on the formula sum, and it's going to say, I've never even used this. So I'm just going to select a range of numbers to sum, and so it's sort of pre-filling the formula, if that's more comfortable when you're starting out. So you'll notice this is 420. Now if you just select them all here, you're also going to see the sum, the count, and the average. And you can also, there's also functions which are good, which is count. And that can do some counting for you if you have to for whatever reason. But this is really nice if you're trying to reconcile something, make something happen. Shift arrow. When I'm moving around here, I hold down shift and I can start getting with the hotkeys, which the more you work in it, the more it becomes fluid. Using brackets, so equals the sum, let's say I want to sum up a certain amount of these, multiplied by sum of this. So it's going to start messing up pretty quick. Oh, that's pretty bad. Times sum of another value. So it'll try and correct your error and you'll bracket you up and you're like, yeah, that's right. Oh no, it's not. So if we want to multiply these things, this is a multiplying a sum times a sum, so a pretty big number. Just, this is probably not the most elegant way, but it's like math. You have to close up your parens to get it to work. Okay, I did an enter and then an enter to autocorrect it. So it's the sum of this times the sum of that. So apparently that's not as much as I thought it would be. 14 to 17 is 62 times 42 equals 62 times 42. Guess that's what it is. Okay. Awesome possum. Can't see the big numbers? Double click or expand column. Fill down. We discussed that. If there's a formula that you want to keep, it's very similar as this. You can also do the Control D and this click and hold shift. Super convenient. Also, just mini bonus round. You can make nice little columns for work paper references. This isn't really a line, this is still the view. So up in the view, we can unfreeze these panes. Looking pretty good. Review, we have typical stuff, spelling, thesaurus, find and replace is also in the document. Typical cut, copy. You can change cells, different colors, different formatting, probably keep it pretty clean. Auto sum is probably a nice way to just get the sum fast. It's clip art and graphs and whatnot. Header footer will bring you into these sorts of things. So if you have to put page numbers and footers, you can go from there. But I'm going to click out of that. So now I'm in this page layout view. So So these views can be like, why am I looking at this or that? I like to sometimes operate in this, or just this view is just fine. Conditional formatting is not so much of a tax thing, but you could say, hey, if it's less than 10, turn it green or blue. Page layout, we touch base on that. Formulas, this is a different way of accessing things from here. So we have financial. Where the heck is accounting? Let's talk to Bill Gates about that. Data, sort and filter. This is getting a little bit outside of scope. View. If your view is getting difficult and you can't see, this is probably the place. Macros is where you can do programming in Excel. And then I believe this is probably a plugin from Acrobat, so I can easily print PDFs, although you probably have a Save As feature as well. If you need a new tab, you can click here. Right-click to delete. Right-click to delete. A lot of times the old versions comes up with 3. I think the new might be 1. And that concludes your top 21 basic Excel tips from 0 to accounting. Thank you.